Manipura, Anahata, Roshita, Asha, Sahasrasara. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, lighting this candle, this flame represents the burning flame of our love, devotion, and dedication for God and for Guru. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, lighting this incense represents the wafting of the aroma of our love for God and for Guru to all of God's creation for the good of all in order to glorify our great and wondrous Creator. So might it be. Got a little breeze today because we're outside, so we'll have to keep an eye on our gurus. Here, maybe we can do this. There we go. There we go. Now they should stay up there pretty good. Let's see. We're in Florida. So things are just a little bit different. So, good morning, namaste, and Lakach, Jayom Guru. Wonderful to have all of my brothers and sisters getting together with me live on Facebook for our Sunday service reading here in Florida. This is our last Sunday though here in Florida. Next Sunday I'll be back at Eckerd Spiritual Center, where we are very blessed, very happy, and very thankful to all of our dearly beloved brothers and sisters that all pitched in together and helped us actually be able to get a building now to actually have our Sunday services on in person on the property at our Maha Param Shakti Spiritual Oasis in Parrish, New York. So we are so happy, so blessed, so thankful that this dream of ours has finally become a reality through a lot of hard work and diligence, through a lot of devoted, dedicated souls, all pitching together, like-minded brothers and sisters, all in this Awakening Consciousness Fellowship family, and not just only in the Awakening Consciousness Fellowship family, friends from all over. We're all pitching in to help us achieve this dream of having an actual building. And last year we just had a temple tent. You know, I'm in a tent here again. This is our temple tent in Florida. And so, you know, maybe someday soon we can have a property in a building here in Florida and have actual live Sunday services, people coming together and communing with Source together in a temple. And so yes, we're very happy, very excited about it, and very thankful. I can't thank all of our dearly beloved brothers and sisters enough for helping us with that, and God bless you all. So here we are, our Sunday service gathering, where we are going to share our Guru's guidance and wisdom to help our life go in a better way, right? And here in Florida, I don't have the recording of our Guru's voice. We always like to start out with Paramahansa Yogananda's voice singing, "Oh God, Beautiful." So we don't have that, so that's okay. I'll just sing it one time for us to help us be able to experience that chanting of Guru's "Oh God, Beautiful," a wonderful, amazing chant, talking about reminding ourselves that our source is in everything. It's in all kinds of nature, and it's also in all kinds of people. It's everything. And so what we want to do is, well, in this little chant from our Guru, while we're remembering that. And we start out usually with his voice, but we'll have to settle for mine. and then we'll, start with our opening prayer. Then we'll take a quick look at the energies for the day, for those brothers and sisters that are getting together with us every day and keeping in rhythmic step day by day. We don't want to miss a day. The only day we don't get together online and do it in the morning to start our day in the right way, the only day we don't do that is on Sunday. We're invited to do that on our own that day. Get up in the morning and do that. And but we'll go over it real quick, just a quick read from our Cosmic Dream Spell Astrology Wisdom to know what it is when these energies are blended together, the tone and the frequency, for those who are following along with that. So after that, then we'll dive right into Guru's message for us this week too. Well, Guru's got something really important for us this week. We all have different roles in life to play, and Guru's going to talk to us about why and how to play those roles correctly, right? Why and how, right? Not just going to tell you to do it, right? Do it right. Bye. No. We wouldn't do that to you here at our Awakening Consciousness Fellowship. We're going to say, there's a way to do it right. You want to hear about it? Got your notepad and pen handy? Because Guru's going to help us right today, not just lecture us about being better, or you're going to burn or something. No, nonsense. So I think we've given plenty enough time for people to join in, and it looks like some people are joining in, and I can't see who. The little phone is way over there. I can't see who, but all these messages coming in, don't think that any of them will go unseen by me. I will check every one of them out right after I'm done with this Sunday service. And the reason why we do it on Zoom like this is because, everybody can't make it at this time all around the world, and we want everyone all around the world to be able to get Guru's guidance to have a balanced life. And so we do it here, and then anyone can come anytime after this and still get Guru's guidance and wisdom. So that's why we're on Facebook Live. This is what I use Facebook for. So now let's get settled in, brothers and sisters. How we want to start this is by calming down, getting into a comfortable meditative posture. Legs crossed on the floor, sitting in a comfortable chair. Basically we want to be sitting up though, paying attention. We might want to close our eyes and put our attention at this point between our eyebrows. We call it the Christ Consciousness Center. The Christ, the Katasta Chaitanya, third eye center here, right? The all-seeing eye here. We want to have our attention here because this is, where looking here with our eyes closed, gazing here. This is putting our attention here. And where we look, that's where our attention goes. Next, we might want to bring our hands into Namaste, this mudra, Namaste, putting prayer pose, putting your hands right in front of your heart chakra, right? In this way, with this very powerful mudra, you're connecting this heart and this third eye chakra as you're concentrating at these 2 points. They're getting connected. Now we're ready to go towards Source in a state of connection, right? With the heart and the mind, the third eye chakra and the heart chakra as one, right? Reason and compassion, all one. And I'll chant our Guru's song, Oh God Beautiful. And you're welcome to chant along if you wish, if you know it. Oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful. At thy feet, oh I do bow. At thy feet, oh I do bow. Oh God beautiful, oh God beautiful. In the forest thou art green. In the forest thou art green. In the mountain thou art high, in the mountain thou art high, in the river thou art restless, in the river thou art restless, in thy ocean thou art great, in thy ocean thou art great. O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow, at thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful, O God beautiful, to the serviceful thou art service, to the serviceful thou art service, to the lover thou art love, to the lover thou art love, to the sorrowful thou art sympathy, to the sorrowful thou art sympathy, to thy yogi thou art bliss, to thy yogi thou art bliss. O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful, O God beautiful. At thy feet, O I do bow, at thy feet, O I do bow. O God beautiful, O God beautiful. O my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all your children. Manifest your presence in our bodies for the good of all in order to glorify you, so might it be. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all your children. Manifest your presence in our bodies and in our minds for the good of all in order to glorify you, so might it be. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, you are omnipresent. You are in all your children. Manifest your presence in our bodies, in our minds, and in our souls for the good of all, only to glorify you, God. All the glory to you, so might it be. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for listening to, hearing, and answering all of our prayers. Even when the answer is no, I still thank you. Thank you for not giving us what wouldn't be good for us. And thank you for answering our greatest prayer to send Guru to guide us home to you. Thank you, God, for sending Guru. Thank you, Guru, for guiding us. Now, today, all day, all tomorrows, and every instant, in sleep and in wakefulness, in life and in death, in this world and in the beyond, we will to remain yours always. So thank you for remaining with us as the constantly, consciously responding joy of our hearts. And may your love continue to shine forever on the sanctuary of our devotion, that we may be able to awaken your love in all sleeping hearts and minds. For the good of all, only to glorify you, God, all the glory to you. So might it be. Thank you, God. We love you. Thank you, God, for loving us too. Oh. Feels so much better after that. That's what we call first things first. Getting connected to Source a little more before we do anything, right? That's the first thing. For seek ye the kingdom of God first. And the kingdom of God is within us, so we don't have far to go. Okay. So next, energy traffic. What's it like today, energetically speaking, right? Let's take a quick read out of our Cosmic Dream Spell Astrology Wisdom Workbook. Handy dandy little tool that we have here that kind of quickly will let us know what the energies are today. And for those who are in it with me every day, it'll make sense to you. For those who are not, it'll still sound cool, even though it don't make sense to you. So here we're looking at the 11th tone today, right? 2 bars, 1 dot, 11th tone. It's about dissonance. Remember, dissonance, right? This is that step right after manifestation, where we thought we knew it all, and then we found out that we didn't. That can be a little disturbing, maybe sometimes. When you thought you knew it all, but you didn't. But at least now you're finding out it all by getting this, what we call the bugs worked out of it, the things you didn't know, right? So that's the tone, right, for today. That's going to tell us what the frequency's like. So what yellow seed is going to be a little dissonant today, right? It's got the dissonant attitude going on today, right? So that's what, right? Because we look at these energies as like our friends, right? And we're getting to know them, like our next door neighbor just moved in. And so right, is yellow seed right? And I think seed kind of is self-explanatory, right? It's about being like a seed and how seeds are, right? Now with a seed, we don't have to send that little kernel of corn to school and teach it how to grow up and become a full stalk with lots of ears of corn on it, right? That one little seed's got everything in there it needs to do that, right? And so Can's reminding us that so do you. All the knowledge of the universe, it's everything you need to know, your connection to Source, it's all there. The only thing is you need to realize it. Isn't that what the seed needs to do? The seed needs to realize its potential, right? So here's what we're talking about, right? Energetically speaking today, right? Realizing our potential, and that we don't have to worry. Source already sent us here with us, planted us with everything, and planted us here on this globe, this Mother Earth, right, Gaia. And we're growing here, aren't we? Yes, evolving, right? So, well, we're not going to get too deep into it. We're going to really, though, just read right out of our... we want to combine these two energies and find out what our galactic signature is for the day. That's the tone and the frequency combined. Today's galactic signature is Kin 24. 24 days into this 260-day energy wave cycle that's going on, right? That's what's really going on with energy, right? We're talking about energy here. So yellow, and we call it yellow spectral seed, right? The spectral tone of liberation is coming together with Can, the yellow seed, right? And so it's in the Mayan way of speaking, we would say Hun Lahun for the 11th tone, and Can for the solar frequency, the solar tribe, Can. After the perfection of the planetary tone of manifestation comes the freedom of the spectral tone of liberation. Yellow spectral seed, Hun Lahun Can, guides and teaches us to honor our existence as a fertile garden of limitless potential in order to achieve liberation and break from rigidity and receive unlimited, boundless options. Isn't this how we want to live our lives? Yes? We want to be like that today. We want to get in harmony with that today. We want to look for that in this day today. Right? That's what we're doing when we're working with the energy, right? Becoming fully empowered empaths. So liberation means to set free from bondage or confinement. Yellow spectral seed, Hunlahun Kan, encourages us to seed with intention and to plant strategically by using our awareness to target what we wish to grow in our lives or what we wish to weed out of our existence. Right? It's like our life's a garden, and if there's things in it we don't want, like the weeds in our garden, right? Well, we can plant those over somewhere else where they go, right? We don't need them in our garden of life, right? Because they're messing it up. Right? So, right? But we do want to make sure that we planted, the corn with the corn and the raspberries with the raspberries and the tomato. You don't just throw the seeds in the garden if you mix them all together like that. We got to plant, we got to plant those seed ideas into our life strategically, right? And we got to weed out anything that might interfere with the growth of those wonderful seed ideas that we're planting into the consciousness of our existence. Right? Also, as the positive energy of destruction which leads to necessary renewal, right? The positive energy of destruction, right, that leads to necessary renewal. Yellow spectral seed, Hunlahun Kan, reminds us to release everything that is detrimentally affecting our experience. Right? This is what the seed, yellow seed energy with that 11th tone is talking about. Because that's what the 11th tone is about. Letting go of, what's no longer serving us, right? Because we figured out what doesn't work and we're just going to drop it. Because it doesn't work. It's real simple. So the cauldron of creation is inviting us to dissolve the presence of unwanted energies and break down structures that uphold limited thoughts, limited beliefs, and limited actions to allow seeming chaos to be a revitalizing release into the full spectrum of limitless, wondrous possibilities. Ah, there we go. Now that's what we want to be like. We want to be just, sliding into this chaos as though it's a revitalizing, energizing, wonderful experience that's leading us to unlimited possibilities. You see, there is no beginning or ending to the complexities of life's simplicities, right? Really, life's very simple, and there's no ending to this. How we can make it complex? It'll drive you crazy. There'll be no end to it if you keep complicating this very simple life, right? I like to help us uncomplicate, right? There is no ending or beginning to these complexities of this simplicity of life. There is only the experience of the whole, which is endlessly offering itself as a unlimited joyride of interconnected parts arranged in a splendidly cryptic yet highly functional, intelligent order. Right? There's a it's a mystery, right? It's rather cryptic, yes. And it's splendidly cryptic, I would like to suggest. Okay, but it's highly functional. It works very well. It's very intelligent. The universe is creating very intelligently. The universe is not dumb. It doesn't make any mistakes. Everything it does, it's why our Creator is pure intelligence, pure consciousness, pure energy and intelligence. It couldn't be anything but intelligent order. So seeming randomness is nothing but the play of our unseen Creator. So we would be wise to simply release our need to control the reins and gracefully merge into the cosmic chaos and feel a childlike release into the mystical spontaneity of our great and wondrous Creator's embrace. Right? Today, let's be like that. Let's count and believe on the source that it knows what it's doing. Let's have faith in divine orchestration, just like the seed does. And it doesn't have to go to school and figure it out and learn it all and struggle through it all like that. Wouldn't that be nice to live like that? Yes. Well, that's what we can do as we get in tune with this dream spell astrology wisdom and help, that and get with our guru's guidance, right, to help us understand what's going on in life around here, what's happening, right? So, okay, how are we doing on time here? I got to always keep track of the time. Make sure I'm not overdoing it. Sometimes I talk too much. Let's turn our attention to our guru's teaching, our guru's message for us this week. Very important. We might want to get our pens and pencils handy. Let us think and focus on our guru's message for us this week. And this week, Guru is talking to us about how to fulfill our role in life, right? This is going to be pretty important for us, isn't it? We all have different roles in life. We all have different things that we're doing in our life, different ways of living, right? Different cultures, men and women, right? Mothers, fathers, they're different, right? Bosses, employees, right? And Guru's going to help us how to live our life the best way, the way it should be for us, right? For each one of us individually, right? We're all living kind of a different life. We could say that we have a different role in life, right? Some are fathers, mothers, sisters. Some are bosses. Some are employees. Some are police officers. And some are, we have soldiers in the military, right? We have, people like me, that hang out in the temple, right? And Guru has a very artistic, beautiful way of explaining it, right? Guru says it like this. He says, in the movie house of this world, right, a drama of life is being enacted on the screen of time. Huh? God, our source, our great and wondrous creator, the director of this cosmic motion picture, right, the cosmic director, well, the cosmic director's been filming on the screen of eternity many, many new pictures, well, of ancient, medieval, and even modern times. Lots of shows, right? God shows, pictures shows of war, famine, poverty, tragedy, comedy, good, evil. Well, to keep us entertained through the eons, right? To keep us entertained through the eons because, well, the appetite of entertainment-loving minds being enormous, Guru says, right? That cosmic movie producer, right, the source, well, it films and shows innumerable pictures of all kinds, right? Well, thus this earth is meant to be a place of mirth, right? Entertainment, pleasure house for immortals, right? And, well, because we might have forgotten this, or because sometimes some forget this and then we start acting like mortals, well, then we may become identified with this earthly play, this earthly drama. And that's when the suffering begins. That's where the suffering comes in, right? And we would be wise to remember that our real home is in the mansion of changeless yet ever new, blissful, omnipresent immortality, right? Souls that, well, we could say unwisely, that are playing truant in this earthly movie house, right? Well, they could become intoxicated with mundane desires and delusions, and they might think that they want to stay on at the movies, right? to keep experiencing the excitement of pleasure and pain, health and disease, life and death. All that excitement that's going on in the movie house, right? And lest souls, to keep them from tiring from our endless experience as mortals, well, God sends us here, right, to, watch these short, ever-changing dramas of life and death. Little series, And while we're being saved from boredom this way, yes, well, our consciousness seems to have fallen into the trap of duality. And then through complete identification with the character of these earthly movie roles, right, the soul may have imagined that this soul image of God, well, we could say that it became diseased with this delusion, right, this delusive consciousness of change, right? Now, being the image of God, right, being images of God, the souls, well, they do not actually really tire of their ever new, ever existing, ever joyous consciousness. Not really here. The idea that they do is only a part of God's Leela, right? The play, right? God's play, God's sport, It's what gods do, the Leela of the gods, yes, the sport of gods. Well, as a wealthy prince may think himself poor and miserable, well, when he's drunk in the slums, so immortals, right? They too can get to kind of feeling sick, right? We could say it's kind of like that, to use words, right? And while they're, alive or dead and happy or sad or, when they're drunk with these experiences of delusive change in this mortal show of this earth, right? This can happen, right? They can get a little confused or lost or maybe, And I would be preferred to be bored with my immortality rather than keep undergoing these dream nightmares of earthly dream death, right? From, say, some disease of some kind, right? I would rather go the other way. And our Guru explains that unwise immortals, right, they come here on earth, and while they're playing a tragic part, for instance, right, well, they get identified, and they identify themselves with that tragedy, that tragic part, right? They become serious-minded, right, we could say. And they begin to moan when they have to play, this part of, that they're dying in poverty, right? They tend to maybe not want to play that role. And Guru goes on to explain that an immortal, right, who in this way forgets themselves, and that they so forget themselves that they literally faint when they think that they're dying from a dream shot in this earthly dream play. Well, if we could say that they're being a little foolish, yes, And these immortals, when they become a little foolish like this about this play of life, well, they're naturally going to undergo many ridiculous mental tortures, right? It's bound to happen, yes? So, let us say that some rich person is dying. Let's try to explain this, okay? And they may be dying from some nervous breakdown of some kind, in this dream of life, right? They don't get it, right? And they'll say, oh, if only I could live on this earth with a healthy body. Why, I would be glad to live without a penny, right? And so, well, then they reincarnate again as a healthy person, but without money, just as they asked for, right? And then they struggle and struggle for money their whole life, right? And then when they're dying of starvation because they couldn't come up with any money, oh, that's when they say, oh, if only, Lord, if only I had health and money, how happy I would be in this dream earth, right? Well, then they'll have to reincarnate in this dream earth with plenty of money and health, but without happiness. Huh? And then on their deathbed again, well, then they think, oh, wow, if only I could have happiness, I would forgo health and riches, right? And then the next time they come back to this dream earth, they're very happy, but without riches, with no money, and they're very sickly. Now, this is why immortal souls continuously punish themselves, because they never can find on this earth the perfect ever new happiness of their immortal home that they're really truly seeking. Yes? It is extremely foolish, right, to die of a broken heart and enter the grave with unfulfilled desires, right? Why? Because you're only playing a part in this earthly movie house, right? You're a soul, formless and invisible, and nothing on this earth is going to give you that perfect happiness of spirit, the source that you came from. And some people, well, they die, they leave this earth still yearning, right? Isn't it so? Some people are leaving this earth, some souls are leaving this earth with a yearning, right? And what are they yearning for? They're yearning for perfect love, perfect human love they think they can find here, right? And no matter what we get, there's always something missing here. Right, looking for this perfect human love, right? Others die dreaming of attaining perfect happiness through wealth and happiness in this the world, right? And then we find that they were all deceived, right? Even if you own this whole earth, right, and everything on it, and everyone adored you, right? Everyone just loved you. Well, this is meager gain compared, right, to our loss when we actually behave as prodigal mortal souls. You know, like the prodigal children, you know. You know, to perceive God and to be united with God's omnipresence is to own the whole cosmos with everything, all of its entertainments, its endless entertainments, its ever new immortality, right? Our great and wondrous creator, our source, God, whatever label you have for it, that's what I'm talking about. And what is that? That is love, okay? Our source is joy, that love and joy that we're seeking. Ownership of the whole earth is nothing in comparison to that. And it would be fraught with sorrow if you had the whole world, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness, at death, then you would be crying from the delusion of it being all taken away from you, and that would torture you at death. Right? Material things cannot be owned by anybody because at death, right, you're leaving all those things behind. And they're going to the next one, right? We are only allowed the use of these things. We're responsible for taking care of them, right? It shows lack of wisdom to be possessed by material things, right? That's no wisdom in it, brothers and sisters. You see, all we have to do is just pray to be given the use of things that we need for the good of all, and that we be given the power to create at will what we need when we need it. right? Let's not allow our happiness to be conditioned by what we have or what we do not have, right? Isn't it just a silly thing, right, to think that you are rich when at death, when you have all this stuff, right, when at death, you will be compelled to give it all up, right? Even a millionaire dies poorer than dirt, right? Better to be like Christ, yes, right? Christ was materially poor, but he was rich with God. He was rich with the source, right? He had nothing according to material standards of life, but he had all of God's kingdom at his fingertips, right? This would be a better way, yes. You see, it is often the fate of those very rich people to have everything in this life, but then nothing afterwards. Nothing in their spiritual bank account, right? A huge earthly bank account, you got to leave it all behind, and then you realize, right, oh, it was a short life, and you hadn't put anything in the eternal bank account, right? This short life of little pleasures, right? And then a long life of nothing after that, right? It doesn't sound good to me, right? I'd rather have this short life of nothing and then a long eternity of pleasures. And you know what I found out? It doesn't work that way. You don't get the short life of nothing. All it pours in anyway. Who knew? So brothers and sisters, no matter who you are, no matter what your condition is, no matter where, what, whatever, okay? Please, do not think, don't even dream that your troubles are the worst in the world, okay? If you're playing a part of poverty or you're playing the part of the diseased person, right, there are others who are playing a worse part than yours, isn't there? Look around, you can find them, yes. And in this life, to be a millionaire or a poor person, it's the same thing, okay? If you can just but understand, right? If you can have understanding, right? If we see ourselves as an actor in this movie house, then all we have to remember is to play our part well, whatever it may be, and do it cheerfully. Play it correctly. We want to play the part that our great stage director assigned us, play it well. That's all we have to do, right? We don't have to worry about the other actors, right? And during this portrayal of our role, whether it's an agreeable role or an unagreeable role, so to speak, right? Well, do not wish to play somebody else's role, right? Oh, because then, then you sentence yourself to spending eons of time playing all these imperfect human roles, changing from one to another, well, according to the changes of those desires that you have, right, which are endless. So get away from this trap of this delusion of this world, right? That's what Krishna said, right? Get away from this delusion trap, right? The only way we're going to get over it is to, well, we're going to have to not feel sorrow when these things that we want are denied us, right? Those things, right, that we think we want or need, right? We need them because we want them. Well, of course, you might say, Ganapati, our desires are conditioned by our needs. We want food because we were given hunger by the source, and we have to, right? And I do admit, okay, that is correct. I do agree. 100%. Okay, but remember, I'm talking of a greater freedom of mind and soul. Okay? Now, when you attain that, brothers and sisters, right? Not even starving to death or having just tattered rags to wear, right? right? Even in the bitterest cold, even, okay, could produce an iota of unhappiness or sorrow or suffering, right? Having nothing, we can have all when we regain our own soul consciousness of oneness, right, with that infinite source, that infinite creator. Only then can we have those harsh experiences and no suffering, no sorrow. Even though you have no material possessions, right? When you possess the all in all God consciousness, why, it feels like to you you have everything, right? When you're really communing, when we really commune with that heavenly creator, you can't feel poor or left out, right? You can't consider the rich as more fortunate than you are when you're in that state, right? That person that's intoxicated with God joy, they pity all of those worldly people with all of their stuff. Oh, they pity them. Poor people. Remember when Christ said, foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests, but he said the Son of Man, right? He's saying it, right? Has nowhere to lay his head, right? He wasn't crying about not having stuff, right? He was just clarifying that he's the owner of the cosmos, that he couldn't remain caged in that small little place, right, as earthly creatures do. That's why you see those gurus and swans, they're moving around, right? And Christ didn't have a bank account, right? Right. And nor did he tell people to demonstrate prosperity as proof of spiritual development, right? He didn't say that. He didn't say that that's the proof, right? You see, you're not really praying to God or showing spirituality when you go into the silence with both eyes inside fixed on that dollar, right? Right? We can't be seeking this for what God can give us, right? Christ, he said, seek ye not what ye shall eat. Seek ye not what ye shall drink. And neither be of doubtful mind. Because all of those things out there in the world, right? The world seeks after those, right? And Christ reminded us, right? He went on to say that your Creator knows you have need of these things, okay? So seek the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. All right? You can find that quote in the Bible, right? In Luke 12:29 through 31. Okay, if you want to look it up and read it, the exact wording there, right? It's there. That person who finds God has the cosmos. They have the cosmos. And then they own everything in it. And Christ knew that he was one with his Creator. And that is why he could do things that many mortals could not do. Isn't it? Yes? Christ raised the dead. Didn't he? Right? Christ, well, he actually, he built this, he actually rebuilt his mutilated body. Didn't he? Compare a millionaire to that, right? Some millionaire dying on a deathbed, forced out of his home, ripped away from his fortune, crying on his deathbed. Compare that to Christ's way, right? Where after death, right, Christ said, we have the kingdom of omnipresence. So don't desire to be a millionaire, brothers and sisters. Rather wish and try to be a Christ-like. It is a waste of your time to delude yourself with this desire to be a mere millionaire, right? What? A billionaire? You would be wise to spend your time in daily meditation, ever longer, ever deeper, right? In the way Guru teaches us, right? And that is the quickest way to become Christ-like, to become a Christ, like Christ did, right? We're following Christ and then that means we're doing what he did. I mean, what of it? What if you did become a millionaire, right? Well, then you would just want to have more, right? And then probably end up dying of heart failure, right? Striving for another $1 million and trying to protect and worrying about people trying to take your millions, right? Striving for God in meditation is to know pure joy, to know it, right? And then you'll be happy when you're meditating, communing with Source, right? And you'll be even happier when you arrive at the end of the trail, right, of this dream. And then you get to meet God in person, directly. The ruler of ever new joy and bliss, right? What everyone is seeking, whatever their religion, whatever their skin color, wherever they're from, whatever their gender, right? Right? We can see it from this different perspective. And we can seek that source of ever new joy. That's what our source is. So during this journey, in this dream of life, right, we would be wise to remember, right, that we're only movie actors here, kind of like. We could say movie actors, right? Divine movie actors. And we may be called upon to play any part, tragedy, comedy, right, whatever, scary, right, and we must play that part well, right? And as we watch ourselves in these so-called tragic roles, right, well, we could just say, well, that's a fine, sad picture. And I played it well. Right? I did my duty and I did it well. Right? And when we can say, Lord, I played the part of birth and death well. I played the sad and joyous parts well. I saw all my plays with great satisfaction and joy. And Lord, I was highly entertained with all of your marvelous earthly movies. But Lord, I did not create any new desires to play any new parts. Then perhaps God may answer and say, well, no, you don't want to play any more parts? Well, then already, my child, you have done well. You need not stay in the movie colony of the earth any longer. Come back home to my home of eternity, my home of ever new joy. You are eternally my child, whether naughty or good, whether in heaven or on earth. But my child, God says, my child, when you forget that your home is my kingdom and get mixed up in my earthly show, you make yourself miserable. Right? And when you know that you are an immortal made in God's blissful image, you can remain on the earth enjoying earthly shows with an immortal attitude. And, well, then you can come home and enjoy the ever entertaining, ever new, joyous entertainment, God says, of my unending nature. Right? That's what God says. Brothers and sisters, wash your hands of all desires. Right? Yet, at the same time, perform your earthly duties with increasing ambition, not to please the boss, but to please the source, and to make everyone around you happy then after that. And when the door of death is opened, right, to you, laugh, dance, shout it out. Now I shall dash off to my home of immortal bliss, happily, not in fear, right? Right? You know, we can disappoint all earthly adversities by remaining non-attached. And then desires will not drag us back to this earth anymore, right? Instead, you will race unshackled straight to your home in that source, in God, right? You know, you will tire quickly of all these material things once you realize this source, right? Oh, wow. You will retire. You'll get tired of all things very quickly, you know, if you get everything, right? But one thing that you'll never be tired of, not now, and not throughout eternity, right? And what is that? Well, that is the ever-new joy realized in God communion that we call meditation, right? Joy that's always the same would cause boredom, but joy that is ever new, right? And also continuous. Well, this will entertain us forever. And such joy, well, I think it can only be found in this state of deep meditation, right? Right? Nirvikalpa Samadhi, right? And the consciousness is traveling through all corridors of consciousness, rising, falling, laughing, crying, right? And nature keeps excitement-loving souls entertained with all this variety, with mixed sorrows and pleasures, keeping it, you know, interesting. But the Christ-like souls are very, very busy with the ever-new conscious and changeless joy in everything, everywhere, and in God, in our source, which is everything, everywhere, right? Seeing our great and wondrous Creator in everything, as everything, everywhere, all the time. That keeps us very busy, always busily entertained, joyously entertained. You want to see God as everything, in everything, everywhere, all the time. And then it can only be joy then. Even in the midst of suffering, yes. And this week, our Guru wants to share with us, well, a lesson in the art of living. Huh? You want a lesson in the art of living? From our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda, a very wise, God-realized master. Now, in ancient India, there lived a great ruler, right? And his name was King Janaka. Okay? Well, he was also a very great master, right? And King Janaka, right? He accepted as a disciple a saintly youth named Sukadeva. Okay? And one of the lessons that King Janaka taught Sukadeva during his sojourn at his palace court, well, it's in this story, right? It's in our Guru's autobiography of a yogi. Now, King Janaka, right? He put Sukadeva through a process of discipline, as they always do, to teach him the art of living in the world without acquiring misery-making attachment to it, right? So one day, the king handed Sukadeva, he handed him 2 cup-shaped lamps, and they were filled to the brim with oil, right? Lantern lamps, you know. And the king said, hold a lamp on the palm of each hand and enter all of the gloriously furnished rooms of this palace of mine here. And you come back to me afterwards when you've seen everything in my palace. But remember, I will refuse to train you further if you spill a single drop of oil on the carpets. Right? I guess he was pretty particular about his carpets, huh? We'll see. Well, the king also instructed 2 messengers to accompany Sukadeva to refill those lamps with fuel as quickly as they burn down, you know. Oil lamps that burn down, right? And it was a hard test. But after a couple hours, Sukadeva returned triumphantly without have dropped even a single drop of oil from those lamps that he was carrying in his hand as he went about the palace, checking every room. And so the king said, "Young Sukadeva, tell me in detail what you saw in each chamber of my palace." And to this the youth Sukadeva replied, "Royal preceptor, my only accomplishment was that I did not spill any oil on your carpets. My mind was so concentrated on the thought of not dripping oil that I didn't even notice anything hardly in the rooms." Oh boy. Well, King Janaka, then he declared, he said, "I am disappointed." He said, "You did not completely pass my test." He said, "My injunctions were that you should see everything in the chambers of my palace, and that you should not spill any oil from the lamps. Go back, try again, and this time with the lamps, right? And let no oil fall from them while you are looking carefully at everything about this palace of mine." Well, then after 10 hours, Sukadeva calmly returned. Right? He had not allowed any oil to drip, nor was he sweating with excitement like the last time. And he could answer all of the king's questions about the contents of all of the palace rooms, however minute it might be. Right? And now King Sukadeva King Janaka was very pleased, right? And he said, "My son, attachment to possessions and not possession itself is the source of misery. In this world we do not own anything. We are only given the use of things. Some have more use of things, more to take care of than others. But remember," he said, "the millionaire and the poor alike, they all have to leave everything, all possessions, when death comes." Yes? And he went on to say, "One should not live a one-sided life, thinking only of God and neglecting one's duties in the world." You know, he said, like you're concentrating on the oil lamp and not seeing anything in the palace. We shouldn't be like that. But on the second trip, keeping that attention principally on the lamp without spilling oil, and at the same time thoroughly and minutely saw everything in the palace. So in this way, we should keep our attention on God, not letting a drop of our desire slip from the lamp of God revealing wisdom, yet devoting a part of our attention to thoroughly performing the God-given duties of maintaining ourselves and others given into our charge, right, that we're supposed to be taken care of, right? Oh, such deep wisdom that our Guru is sharing with us, right? So that we can learn how to really pay attention to what's going on and really enjoy the steps along the way of our life, yes? And at the same time, not forgetting the source, where all that joy and stuff is coming from. Right. So next, brothers and sisters, let us share in some more wonderful words from our Guru, from his whispers from eternity. Right? They're magic words that really help us to realize ourselves. What are we doing here? How are we living? What's going on? How should we be, right? So today we're sharing a short but very powerful and very beautiful words of our Guru entitled, In the Garden of My Life. Right? Our life is a garden. Cast unceasingly the seeds of your blessings into the prayer-plowed soil of my heart, Lord. May they grow into plants bearing precious fruits of self-realization. Let every vine of my activities wear clusters of joy, and teach me to press divine wine from the daily ripened grapes of little joys. On each thorny bush of my trials, Lord, may you grow fadeless flowers of spiritual understanding. Beautiful words. Beautiful flowers of spiritual understanding. That's what we want to be, isn't it? In the garden of life, right? On the garden of this earth, right? We can see our life as the Garden of Eden, right? And we can plant seed ideas in there. What kind of seed ideas are we planting into the garden of our consciousness that are going to grow, right, into our life, right, into the garden of our life? We could think of it like that, yes? Guru gives us something really good to think about this whole week, right? And the Guru's really helping us how to try to figure out how to live our lives in the best way. And what's the best way? Well, that would be to fulfill the role that we came here to play, right? It's different for everybody. That great stage director assigned us a part to play, and we all have our role to play, and if we play them well, just like those actors, when they play those parts well, a new actor comes in and plays the part well, then they give them a better role next time, right? That's what we want. You want to have a better role next time? Well, then we're going to have to play this role correctly and well. And if we play it well, then we could have every reason to expect that the next role is going to be better in the next show, in the next life. Great wisdom and guidance from our Guru to really help us live a happy, harmonious life of peace and harmony. Yes? So as we're coming to the end of our time together here, for our special Sabbath Sunday, our last Sunday here in Florida, I feel so blessed to be able to have this time to spend together with my brothers and sisters while I'm here in Florida. I'm just having the most wonderful time sharing this sacred wisdom with everyone here in these little towns that I'm running off to today. We're going to St. Petersburg, right? So it's just a blessing, such a blessing. And to do it with such wonderful divine souls. We're meeting so many wonderful new souls. I am just, I don't know. I'm without words. Just thank you, God. That's all I can say. So let's come together, brothers and sisters. Let's bring our energy together. Let's close our eyes putting at this tension, put the attention at the point between our eyebrows, remembering we're all on this earth together, bringing our energy together, bringing our palms together, all connecting as one. Right, as we do this all together, we're all connecting all of this energy together. It makes it very powerful, right? So let's close our eyes. Our attention is at the point between our eyebrows. Our hands are in Namaste, prayer pose in front of our heart chakra, connecting our center of love and compassion in the heart chakra with the center of all knowingness, our third eye center. And in this way, in this connected way, this spiritually connected way, well, we're going to do some singing and some chanting, some communing with our source in this way. Oh, my great and wondrous Creator, we are sending our voice to you this beautiful day, giving you thanks for our lives. We are the new people you have dreamed of so long ago. We have come stumbling here, seeking to find our way into the new. As we continue our exploration, we look to the past and honor our mothers and fathers, our grandfathers and grandmothers, who went before us, and who made all these things, and who made our lives. We've come before you today, neither women nor men, but souls, spirits, bearing the traditional offerings, as you have so seen fit, to honor the past and to pray for our ancestors and to ask for your help. Help us to find our way into this new world and to be in good relationships with all the brothers and all the sisters of all the colors and all the traditions, for the good of all, only to glorify you, God. All the glory to you, so might it be. Om God, I will to be thine always. Om Lord, I will to be thine always. I may go far, farther than the stars. I may go far, farther than the stars. But I will to be thine always. O Lord, I will to be thine always. Devotees may come, devotees may go. Devotees may come, devotees may go. But I will to be thine always. O Lord, I will to be thine always. When I die, look into my eyes. When I die, look into my eyes. They will mutely say, I will to be thine always. O Lord, I will to be thine always. I may go far, farther than the stars. Devotees may come, devotees may go, but I will to be thine always. O Lord, I will to be thine always. When I die, look into my eyes. When I die, look into my eyes. They will mutely say, I will to be thine always. O Lord, I will to be thine always. Om God, I will to be thine always. Namaste. Inlakach Chayom Guru. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining in for our Sunday service. Looking forward to getting together next Sunday in New York. God willing, of course. Hang on to this bliss, brothers and sisters. And I know we talked about a lot today. If there's something you would like to talk about, always get a hold of me. And we can talk more about how to better play our role correctly. Living our Dharma, right? That's all it is. So thank you. Let's have a wonderful day of bliss and joy. Bye now. See you soon. Maybe we'll see you in this afternoon. Let me see the time. What time was it? I forget the time. I'll put it up on Facebook. What time? We're traveling today and having a wonderful day. I'll put it up on Facebook so everybody knows where it's at. Just go to my page. It's all there. Bye now. Where'd the button go? There it is.